All right, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Austin back at it again with another video, and today we're doing a toolbox tour. I got my 73-inch Icon toolbox with the 73-inch hutch, and then I got the side locker over here. So I'm excited to show you guys exactly what's inside of here, because most of the things on here are budget friendly. The super expensive stuff that I have, I use for precision, or that I use often, but let's get right into it. So I wanted to get into cost breakdown if you guys were just starting out. So the 73-inch box is almost $3,000, as you can see here. And then I also added the stainless steel top for another $300, just because I didn't want to be setting anything on top of the box and scratching it. But then I had the idea of putting the hutch on, and this is what the stainless steel top looks on top of the box when it's just bolted down with no hutch. But then I added the hutch, as you see here, for another $1,000. I just like a nice work area, and you can close it and keep everything locked inside. But with that, you gotta add the light, and here's the cost of this, which is really cool. I'll show you guys in a second, the next clip, how this works. And with the last piece of this box is going to be the side locker, where I keep my fridge and my fluids and everything, but I'll show you guys later on in the video how this works for $1,400. So the grand total is $5,818.96. So in comparison to other brands, this is very inexpensive. So let's get into what's inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up here. We got the slow open, and once it's finally open, the light turns on, because there's a motion sensor, a magnet, I'm sorry, that once it's open, it lines up, turns the light on. This light bar is from Icon as well. So this was an accessory add-on. It's just a magnet strip. So visually what I have is a Keurig. I have an O'Reilly's calendar. I have my little Snap-on pen holder with my Milwaukee AirPod holder. I have my laptop here that the dealer gives us. Don't look at this. I guess we'll just hide my wiring management. But got a little torch, some sticky notes and gloves up in the hutch area. I like to keep it kind of clean, so if I'm working on a job, I can just set tools up here or parts and just kind of organize them as I need them. All right, so we're gonna open the main drawer. Number one drawer here. This is gonna be your socket drawer, extension drawer, ratchets. So I'm standing on the right side of it here. So I got 1/2-inch breaker bar, 1/2-inch ratchet, another 1/2-inch ratchet, 3/8 torque wrench, 3/8 ratchet, and a 3/8 ratchet. Now looking at my sockets here, let's start with the chromes. Over here is 1/4 deep and shallow, 3/8 deep and shallow, 1/2-inch deep and shallow. Then we got my torque sockets, my little Harbor Freight, 12 points. More Harbor Freight stuff. I don't even know what these are. I think they're inverted torques. Little miscellaneous sockets. I got a Mako Toyota oil filter. These are Subaru specific sockets for crank pulleys or crankshafts. I got 1/2-inch deep sockets for impact. More 1/2-inch sockets for impact over here. Deep and shallow. These aren't all one size, or I'm sorry, these don't have non-skip sizes, so I'm missing a bunch of them, but the bigger ones that I'm missing over here are actually over here. I have the Milwaukee Insider socket set right here. Then I have my 3/8 deep and shallow, my 3/8 wobble, and 3/8 super shallow right here. All my Allen sockets, my special sockets here. This one's special for spark plugs, just a deep wobble 19, deep wobble 17, stuff that I use commonly. Special socket for front caliper bolts, torque sockets, impact, little magnetic 10, magnetic 12, little wobble 1/4-inch stuff here. And my extensions, I got 1/2" extensions, 3/8 extensions, and 3/8 extensions here that are straight. And when you clip the socket on, it's straight, and when you pull it a little bit, it's a wobble extension. Just miscellaneous extensions here, torque stick, wheel stud installer, but overall, it's kind of hard to film this. So yeah, that's my socket drawer and kind of extension drawer. Moving on to the one right below that is where I keep my wrenches. I am pretty OCD and a little organized with this. I like the trays. It helps me just know when I'm missing something. When I left a wrench or a socket out somewhere, I see it not visually in here, so I'm like, oh, I gotta go look for that. So this is a little 3/8 clicker torque wrench that I never use because I have the snap-on one. These I hardly ever use. So these are pretty cool, actually. They're ratcheting forward and reverse, but then they also have a bite on them. So if you're trying to get something that's pretty seized or stuck, I don't know why this won't focus here. As you see right there, it's got a little bite, so it will grab onto like a tie rod end or something like that. So everything in here is pretty much Harbor Freight. We got this set here, this little Pittsburgh set here. I got these crow's foot that you put on a ratchet. Harbor Freight. We got 6mm to 19, and then the 20 to 24. And these are the best thing I've ever purchased ever. The double box end ratcheting wrenches. 17 and 19, 16 and 18, 13, 15, 12, 14, 8 and 10, all in the same wrench. Amazing. Love them. Oil filter wrench. Here's my wrench drawer. I'm gonna go down the right side here now because the top two drawers are now done. So this one, nothing really in here. Something to write on. I don't really use it though because I just write up in the hutch. This one, random, I don't even know. Stethoscope, scraper, razor blades, little headlamps. Stuff I really never really used, to be honest. Going down to this drawer here, this is the charging drawer. I only have my Milwaukee stuff here at the moment, but this drawer has power outlets built into it, and you can turn it on and off, or it just plugs into the back side of the toolbox as well. Got my jump pack and just 2 batteries here for now. And the last drawer on this row is the guns. I got my little screw gun, my 3/8 Milwaukee, 1/2" Mako Air Impact, and my 1/2" Milwaukee with some screw bits for the screw gun here. And these green things are for brake clean, that you just pump brake clean in and use air. And that completes that side. So now I'm gonna go into the middle small drawer here. This is kind of where I keep track of all my hours and everything that's going on. If I wanted to seal something, I would lay it up here. Just miscellaneous O-rings, and I can also seal it over there on my cart. But this is just a better height for me sometimes to put an oil pan on here or something like that, to put some silicone on it. Next one down in the middle is my pliers. Now, like I said, a lot of this stuff is pretty budget friendly. So a lot of this is from Harbor Freight, actually. These hose clamps for oil and coolant lines. Icon, Snap-on, Icon. Can't really tell the difference there, but hey, I'm not saying nothing. More Harbor Freight. This is Mako set. They're all right. They're just vice grips. They're not really the best thing ever, but I've rounded those off so many times, so now they're just slipping on everything. Miscellaneous pliers that I never use, but they're just in here because why not, I guess. This is for exhaust hangers and just kind of like a push pin clip thing here, and these are for seat hog rings. There's certain things in here that I use a lot, and there's certain things in here that I don't ever use. So yeah, that's my plier drawer. One down from that is going to be my blowguns and my hoses for my Mighty Vac over there, my fluid extractor, the little white stand-up thing, and a battery puller, and a little magnet. Nothing really going on in this drawer that's crazy. I'll go one down from here, and you're gonna laugh when I say this, but this is my junk drawer. I got these trays at Harbor Freight. Helps me organize things pretty well. It's just stuff that I've accumulated over the years. I got head bolts, shims and bolts, nuts, plugs, spark plugs, lug nuts, exhaust gaskets, bolts. You see it. I mean, it's just randomness. Markers, I mean, air fittings. If you can't find it in this drawer, then you're kind of screwed. But yeah, this is like off of a drive shaft here. It helps when you put it in the back of the transmission to spin it so you can line it up into the engine easier. But yeah, this is my junk drawer. One more down from that is my pry bars, hammers, ball joint, Subaru specific. I got a Dremel, Milwaukee ratchet, Milwaukee ratchet, Milwaukee ratchet. I like my Milwaukee stuff. It's pretty good to me. And the very last drawer in the bottom here is going to be where all of my cases are. I have my air hammer. I guess I should start opening some of these for you guys. This is my air hammer set. This is the long barrel with the 5 different bits. I love this thing. Heavy hitting air hammer on the market, in my opinion. We have the Matco coolant refiller, 2 different radiator styles. Pulls a vacuum on the system and bleeds the coolant. Super fancy. Can bleed coolant in about 5 minutes with that thing. No air bubbles. This, honestly, I forgot what it is, so it's good that we're opening this. Here, I'll just spit this up here. Looks like screwdrivers. So, since I forgot about it, I never use it. But it'd be cool to have. I guess I should move it into the backseat of my car just in case anything happens like that. This is a Snap-on 48-piece rethread kit. I just recently picked this up. I've only used it twice, but it saved me both times. So you file it down right here to get all the burrs off, and you basically just rethread it. Exhaust studs are really nice for this. I haven't luckily needed to use it that often, but it's been great. Down here I have my 1/2-inch Snap-on torque wrench. It's pretty pricey, but it's a must if you're doing super precision stuff. It does Newton meters, degrees, foot-pounds. I mean, you name it, it's got it on there. It's worth it. This is my case for the 3/8 one, but I have the 3/8 one up here just because I use it more often. This is a valve keeper remover installer. This, looking like a riv nut installer with a bunch of riv nuts. I've used that twice to install my wing on my Impreza. So that was pretty useful, but now I don't really have a use for it that often. And the last Icon case down here is going to be the Snap Ring pliers set. I saw this on sale and I just had to pick it up. I used it for wheel bearings in the rear when I did mine on my Forester. And that's going to conclude my bottom drawer. Moving on to the next bottom drawer over here. is going to be Dremel bits, front brake caliper, compressed tool. I got my die grinders with a bunch of roll locks and wire wheels and stuff like that. Another blowtorch just in case. But yeah, just a bunch of miscellaneous angle grinder, cutting wheels, stuff like that down here. So there's this drawer. One up from there. Nothing much going on in here. This is more of a brake drawer. I got my brake caliper hangers, screws to get the front rotors off, and then the rear caliper kit just to press in the rear calipers. The twist style, bungee cords. One up from there, it's going to be my air chuck, my wheel lock kit, and my torque sticks. I only ever use the one torque stick, but I do have a 120, 110, and 100 with the different socket sizes as well. That's this one. One up from there is going to be nothing. Just Company 23 crank pulley tool and my axle pin tool here. I don't really know what to put in these small drawers because they're not really that deep where you can really put anything in them. I've had a pretty hard time of finding out what to do with all these small drawers that this toolbox has. They're good for pliers and things like that, but man, it's a challenge sometimes. Here's another example of what to do with a small drawer is trim tools. I got picks here, metal trim tools, which are a must. I love those things. I got the plastic trim tools here, some radiator hose picks, and these are awesome as well. Yeah, there's this drawer. Kind of organizing here as I go. One up is my screwdriver drawer. I got my Phillips that way and my flatheads pointed this way, so it's nice and easy for me. I always know where everything is. I got my roll punches here, or ball punches. I don't even know what you would call these, but that's from Mac. This is the impact screwdriver when you get those rusty brake rotor screws. Awesome. You just put it on there and hit it with a hammer and it loosens it, no problem. Bunch of punches here, bits for this impact screwdriver here. But yeah, screwdriver drawer. I got my magnet here. One up from here is going to be my electrical drawer. Rat's nest of wiring in here, but I got my multimeter, some test leads, test lights, bunch of miscellaneous test connections things. Usually when you open this drawer, you're not in the best mood because you're doing some electrical work, which nobody ever likes. I don't know. I don't care who you are. Nobody likes electrical work. So we're lightly touching on this drawer, but it's kind of a mess. Then one up from that is what I use as my little junk area for keys, forks, mint, just little things that for lunches and stuff like that. So that completes the toolbox tour. Now I do have a side locker, and when you open this, right on the door is where we got our fluids. I have air tool oil, some silicone spray, some fuel induction stuff, my tape measures right here, some brake clean, some PB blaster, all the stuff that I kind of use regularly is on the door. I do have a fridge, which is super nice that it fits in here. I got some creamers, some waters and stuff right now. Usually I have my lunch if I bring a lunch in here. But yeah, fridge fits in there amazing. I wanted to get the side locker because the shelves, you can raise them or lower them. You can put them on different heights. So I had to at least put it down enough so I can get that in there, which is awesome. But right down below is where I got all the fluids, washer fluid, coolant, brake caliper grease, little oil squirter, wheel bearing grease, just miscellaneous fluids, oils, brake fluid. And what's cool about this is it has 4 drawers. So the first drawer I have coffee, because I have a coffee maker. So when I need that midday cup of joe, there it is. Single edge blades, more miscellaneous pens and stuff like that, tape, USBs, shop towels, contact solution just in case I get something in my eyeball. Going down to the next drawers where we got our silicone gloves, caulk gun, more specialty stuff. Third one down is going to be my tackle box. This is what I use to organize my valve shims and everything like that. This one's usually pretty empty. I haven't really found a use for it yet. And the very last drawer down here is just a miscellaneous, I don't even know. It's not as organized as my other junk drawer, but there's a cam in here, some 2x4s, a bunch of seals and bolts, and the actual handlebars from my toolbox where I had to take them off because my side locker bolted to them. But that's that. This is the side locker view. So that completes my toolbox tour, and I did save a lot of money on the whole toolbox setup. Icon has been pretty good to me so far. I haven't had any complaints. I do recommend it 100% if you were just starting out or if you wanted something more on the budget side. It's been great for just a little over a year that I've had it now. So that is going to conclude today's video. Thank you guys if you made it this far. If you found this interesting at all, if you had any questions on what kind of tools to buy or anything like that, just give me a comment and I'll reach back out to you. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and go to your local Harbor Freight and check out some Icon. See you guys in the next one.